Hey y'all. So, I hope you had an amazing day, and if not, make it an amazing night. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get better at remembering that. Yeah, but anyway, so last night's episode of Married at First Sight, Virginia and Eric. I think Virginia has kind of been completely honest about what she wanted from the beginning, and it was a big risk of the experts thinking that possibly they could match her with someone who could change her. They gambled with both Virginia and Eric. It's not always smart. And I think that, with this already being a different type of situation, I think gambling or, they might change for somebody is something that I don't really think that should be done. I think her wanting to just have 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 found a partner or a husband that is going to live the life that she wants, as far as going out to the bar and drinking on Thursday through Sunday, or however often she chooses to, is it's still it's immature thinking. um and I wonder, does any of her friends have a husband or a wife and that does that? Like, is there somebody who she is watching have this type of relationship and she wants it, or it's just, I want to say that I have a husband and I still want to do single person things, but just with a husband and not really grow up. But her not thinking like, okay, I want that type of person, who is going to want to come out and do the things that I want to do. What if you do find that person, and then you want to, stop going out and drinking all the time, and that person doesn't want to? So you don't really know what you're asking for when you're trying to find a partner who just wants to go out with you when you want to go out drinking. Um, I don't know why her friends didn't say, like, even when they asked, like, when she was telling them, what Eric thought about her going out, and they asked, was it a trust issue or is it just because I want to spend time with you? And because she said she didn't know, I don't know why they didn't respond and say, well, you are married now, like, you do have to change that up a little bit. We enjoyed our time together, but you are a married woman, and we expect you to not come out as often with us as you used to, because you're not single and it's just not about you anymore. I think sometimes Eric needs to take into consideration the type of life that she lived, and basically almost how she views marriage. And not saying that how she views it is bad, and not having a conventional wedding or a conventional marriage is bad. I just think that, some of the things that he wants done can, they don't have to do. And some of the things that she wants done, I think is stupid for them to do. But he doesn't think about that all the time. And I think that that is just like partially because of his military upbringing, that everything should be like, not so, I mean, he doesn't like say scheduled, but everything should run this way, and if it doesn't, it's wrong. And I think that has to do with him, the military upbringing, and then him going into the military, and then him being married. To me, like, if I was married and it failed, I probably would want to do almost the opposite of everything that I did in that first marriage. Almost the opposite of everything. But yeah, like, he has to be a little bit more empathetic to the way that she views things, only because she just didn't see a healthy marriage. And because you did, or you felt you did, you have to, give time, or just show, the things that you're telling her. If she doesn't agree with it, show her that it can happen the way that you want it to happen, without giving, having starting an argument. Just if you're not getting through to her, show her, she doesn't believe that, in soulmates, basically. Okay, there's no reason for that to even be an issue, a thought, or you to even give a look. Because she was right, you were married before and you thought that person was your soulmate, and over time you figured out that she wasn't, or she could have been, and you just guys you just grew apart. And again, it's like, if she doesn't believe it, it's because maybe she hasn't seen it. So show her. You don't have to, verbally argue with her. Just show her that it can happen. And I think that I think they'll be fine. If, each one of them really has to give. I don't believe that Eric gives as much. And when I say give, I don't mean like start going out as much as she wants to. I just think he needs to give up some of the things that he keeps trying to push down her throat. I don't understand her issue about not moving in is very stupid. Move, like, redecorate a little until, for the time being. Throw a throw pillow on the couch, or two, a picture on the wall, some pictures on the, magazines on the night, or on the coffee table, something. It's not really that big of a deal. Like, if his place isn't bad, and, you're going to decide to stay there for some time, like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, with no marriage, I mean, well, I won't say with no marriage, with a marriage like this, where you're just, you just meet at the altar and then live together for however many weeks. If the person owns a house, it's just not going to happen where, they sell it or rent it out really quickly. And you knew that it was a possibility that you could have to move in with somebody. So I don't even see that shouldn't even be a topic of discussion. We decide where we're living, and it is what it is. Haley and Jacob. Haley is finally starting to develop some feelings for Jacob. I think that she's scared because there's still things that she doesn't like about him. So I think that she's fighting having these feelings, and they just crept up on her, and she doesn't really know how to process it. But I think that they will work once the cameras aren't around, and maybe it's not so stressful. Um, they both just need to learn how to communicate a little bit better, not hold it in, and then, not really blow up, but kind of blow up um, on each other. Finding out the reason why Jacob didn't wake her up and let her know he was leaving is kind of understandable. And I see him as being inconsiderate in some ways, but I don't think that he is an inconsiderate person. I don't think like he does the things that he does intentionally, or that he's, all bad. And obviously she doesn't feel that he's all bad either, because I think she's talking more positive about him than she ever has. Um, his humor, and I don't know why she sees that as a red flag. It's just, everybody, your personalities don't match. You're an individual because you are an individual and you like different things. Her thinking, him being 39, or, as old as he is and not being married, there's no, I mean, as much as we like to think and society pushes that on, that you should be married by a certain age, it just does not happen for everybody. And it shouldn't be a red flag that that person has not met their person. I mean, it just, I don't know why that's a red flag, but I think she's trying to find ways not to like him, and because she's just confused and didn't really realize that she did have feelings. That's just how I feel about the whole situation. But yeah, I think that, like, him not waking her up to tell her he was leaving, in his mind, he may have thought that he was being considerate of, letting her sleep because he could go check on the dogs. It's not like she needed to go. So, I mean, you don't really know, I guess, where his head is some of the time. And it's just a conversation, It could, a conversation that doesn't need to turn into arguing because there's nothing that either one of them has done that, you know, needs to be like a big TKO blowout. Brianna and Vincent. I'm so sick of, hearing her say that she's not going to change for a man, but you want him to change. He has to get up earlier. He has to start doing things out of his comfort zone because if he doesn't, then he's not trying to grow as a person. Um, what else? You want him. Now you're commenting on his. What the heck did she say? Why am I drawing a blank? Because he is unorganized. You want him to change, but you're not going to change. Being bossy is not a good thing. I've never seen being bossy as a good thing, and I don't know why she feels that it is. Being direct, some people confuse being direct with I say whatever I want to say, regardless if it hurts your feelings or not. That is not the direct that you need to be. I say what I need to say so that you understand where I'm coming from, but being direct, you can still be mindful of people's feelings. And I think a lot of people confuse being direct with just being able to say whatever they want, take it or leave it. Who cares how you feel? And I think that that's how she is. Like, you know that he shuts down when you say certain things or attack his character because he wants to be this great guy for you and you to think of him as such as a great guy. So who cares that he's unorganized? It's maybe not something that you need to bring up. Just if you claim you're going to help him, just help him without being so pushy about it. Just, suggest maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. And if he doesn't want to do it, then you have to let him be because you don't want to change, but he's supposed to do all this changing for you. I don't know why him saying that her being bossy was a turnoff was so upsetting for her. It was not him saying her physical features, the thing, like, none of that did he say was a turnoff. It's the fact that he does not like being bossed around. And I don't know why that was such a big red flag. And like, I don't know why even her mom wasn't a little bit more open with her about how it can come off, because it was more like the mom was just like, well, yeah, of course he should, and da da da. Like, instead of her saying to her daughter, like, everybody cannot, everyone just does not like to be told what to do. And sometimes you come off as, above than or higher than, or you just think that your way is right. And it's not like that all the time. And you have to, like, learn who you're dealing with, and if that person is open to hearing all your suggestions. Some things need to be kept to yourself because it's not really worth fighting or hurting a person's feelings over all the things that you think you should do. And obviously her being bossy is an issue because it wouldn't have been brought up in her the at the wedding as much as it was. So obviously other people feel that way about it, but they're her family and her friends, and they've been there long and know how she is. So I don't know. That was just a little, I didn't really understand it much, why her mom didn't, kind of open up her eyes to the situation. And I don't understand why she if somebody said I'm bossy 5 times at my wedding, to tell my husband who does not know me that I'm bossy and continues to let him know that I'm bossy, maybe I might want to check myself. Like, maybe, I don't know this man, he doesn't know me. Let me come off a little, like, let me not try to nitpick at everything that he does. I mean, that would be my thoughts anyway. But I think that a lot of times he just swallows it, because he really wants to be married. And I think he sees, the good side of her. I think with her, it's still like, everything on my terms type of thing. And if it's not on my terms, then I'm not staying. I think that that's how she comes off. So, Ryan and Claire. Um, I don't know, like, why Claire acts like, to everyone except for the girls, that, their wedding, I mean, their marriage is perfect. I think now that the experts are around is when she should be, saying this is what's wrong and this is what hurts me, because they can somewhat make him, or try to make him understand where she's coming from, and where, the things that he is doing is hurting her. He may not be doing it intentionally to hurt her, but if he doesn't know that it's hurting you, then there's no way he's going to change. um Her friend, like, it's 10 out of 10. Her friend should have just been like, bullshit, girl, I know when you're lying, tell me what's going on. And I just don't understand, her always trying to protect Ryan's feelings. Like, what is the purpose of saying you'll stay with somebody in hopes that they will come around to being affectionate the way you want them to be, and saying I love you, like you want them to, if you're not able to say it? And because you're scared to hurt Ryan, or, upset him, because you know that he's going to hold sex that away from you that much longer, say it to somebody else who can ask the questions and get him to open up and to see what the things that he does hurts you. Her not wanting to say I love you to him is stupid, because you feel it. It's not like you don't feel it and you're not saying I don't feel it and I won't feel it until he feels it. You love him. Tell him you love him. And whatever happens happens, and you're on TV. It's not like we don't see it or he won't see it. Like, it's not going to change. You can say I love you and still choose to walk away on decision day. But you it's clear you love him. You pretty much have said it in a roundabout way. He knows you love him. Just say it. I mean, you don't need to be hold off because he chooses to hold off. So some of the questions that they were taking during that survey, when she said that she's not afraid to tell people when they're wrong, she may tell people, she may not be afraid to do that, but it's probably the people who she's not in a relationship with, and that's why her relationships have, been not been successful. And this one will be the same if she does not learn how to open up about her feelings, because if the person already is not what you want and doesn't change because they don't want to, is one thing. But when they don't change because they don't know what needs to be changed, and you're just going on with every day, I'm happy when he does this, but I'm not happy the majority of the time, because the majority of the time these things aren't happening. Why stay? It's the Now is the time that you should make sure that you know it can change, and instead of waiting until the cameras are gone. Like, I don't think Ryan knows how to show emotion, or knows how to make a woman feel good, because I think he thinks those things are cheesy, and they're not. But I don't think that he'll change. And he for sure isn't going to change if he doesn't know that like this makes her mad. And because she still makes sure he gets what he needs at night, he doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing. I think Ryan has like went through this whole thing with more like a friends with benefits type of thing. Like, I'm her friend. I really, I listen to her conversations. I listen to her talk about how she feels. I don't care. I rather, stick a pencil in my ear, like, so I don't hear how she feels every day. But at night, she gets me off, and I don't have to have sex with her, and I don't have to tell her I love her. And like he's winning in this situation. And when he I don't know. Ryan does not talk about his relationship or his marriage with love. I know he doesn't says he's never loved somebody, but I don't he he's not excited about it. And I don't know. I just would not keep saying that everything is okay when it's not okay. Like, she needs help. When the cameras are gone and the experts are gone, who's going to help her? His mom's not going to help. Well, she might, but who is going to help you if you stay with this guy when you're clearly not happy and you're not getting what you need? Anyway, we'll see what happens decision day. Peace.